Hey my friends, how's it going today? Got my flower shirt on, feeling ready to read again. No silly song today. But I am excited because I can't see my neck, which sounds silly to you, but feels good to me that I can't see my neck. I am excited to read our book. No, it's not new anymore, but what's it called? 8 class pets plus 1 squirrel divided by 1 dog equals chaos. Okay, let's discuss any of the chaos that might be occurring right now in our story. We have talked a little bit about chaos being confusion, a lot happening, craziness. So what do we know so far? I want you to think for a moment before we review and before I begin to read. Got it. Okay. So we know there's a squirrel that was just minding some business in the yard. Saw an owl coming at it. That was the first bit of craziness, confusion, the wrong thing going on, right? Then ran, stepped on a dog. The dog began to chase. The squirrel Twitch ended up in, it must be the kindergarten classroom, with the first, or what was it? No, it wasn't the kindergarten classroom. It was the first grade room. Oopsie, my bad. It was the first grade hamster, Green Eggs and Hamster, named after a special book. So it was a literary hamster. And the dog ran in. The hamster diverted the attention of the dog, said there's no way that squirrel is in here. You're just smelling rodents. I'm a rodent. Squirrel's a rodent. We're all rodents. We have a stinky rodent smell. Then got the dog to go down to the 5th grade room. Custodian came in, all confused, thought he had heard a dog, which we both know he did hear a dog. But he's by himself there because everybody else is gone. So he's not clear on what he heard. And ended up walking out thinking to himself how glad he was there was not a dog, because there's going to be an art show set up, or an art show tomorrow. And then Twitch was nervous about being locked in the school with the dog and asked the hamster for advice about what to do. Hamster was tired of thinking, Green Eggs and Hamster. So sent Twitch next door to the bunny or the rabbit that he said was very bossy, but super smart. So let's see what happens when Twitch arrives at the new character's classroom. And let's see. This is going to be, I guess, we're on chapter 3-ish, right? This is called Miss Lucy Cottontail, 2nd grade rabbit. It's not everybody that starts school in 2nd grade. The children in Miss Walters' class went to 1st grade last year. They were in a different building in kindergarten the year before that, and most of them spent a year or 2 in preschool. Not me. I came to 2nd grade straight from the pet shop. So that shows I'm the smartest one here. No preschool for me, no kindergarten for me, no 1st grade for me. I landed in 2nd grade. I'm the smartest one here, that's for sure. Well, maybe, except for Miss Walters. But I'm not sure. Miss Walters never talks about her being in 1st grade. She's a teacher. You'd think she would have gone to 1st grade. But, I think she may have skipped 1st grade too. But she does talk about last year's 2nd grade class. I'm smart enough to know that means Miss Walters was kept back. But that means she went to 2nd grade twice. That's what the rabbit thinks. But I'm polite enough not to mention it to Miss Walters. I like her. I plan to finish 2nd grade in 1 year. In fact, I think I may well skip 3rd grade and go directly to 4th. Another way I know I'm the smartest one here is that Miss Walters tells the children their jobs to learn. But she says that my job is to be cute and cuddly and not bite. Obviously, I have already learned everything there is to learn. Otherwise, she would say, my job was to learn. Let's see, let's look at Miss Lucy Cottontail. There she is at the beginning of the chapter. And then here she is by her cage. So we are learning about Miss Lucy Cottontail. She seems to think she's very smart. She probably is. But she thinks she's super smart because she's in 2nd grade, didn't have to go to 1st grade, didn't have to go to kindergarten, didn't have to go to preschool. Or actually, I should say, she missed those opportunities because they're all fun. That she came straight from the vet store. So she thinks that makes her super smart. She also thinks she's super smart because the teacher, Miss Walters, is always telling the kids, your job is to learn. And Lucy Cottontail's job is to be cute and cuddly and not bite. So Lucy Cottontail thinks that means that she's already learned everything she needs to learn. Such funny thinking. I love it. Okay. Sometimes the children forget to latch my cage. I help them learn by running around the classroom and hiding under things. I leave a trail of little poops to help them find me. I'm super smart. Once, I made it all the way across the hall to Mr. Daly's 3rd grade room. Mr. Daly has fish. The fish are in a tank, and the tank is on a cart with wheels. I don't think those fish are very smart at all. They never escape. They never hide under things. They just swim back and forth, back and forth. I held my long, good at hearing everything ears up against the glass to listen, but all they'd say was, we're in a school, we're in a school, we're in a school. Ha 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 ha. You know, they say that fish swim in a school, so he thinks that's what they're saying. I know, I said, we all are in a school. There's a squirrel who lives outside. Sometimes he comes to visit after Miss Walters and all the children have gone home. The squirrel sits on the windowsill and makes faces and says rude things like, if you were really smart, the humans couldn't catch you. I don't let them catch me. I point out to him that I don't have to stay outside when it's cold and rainy, like he does. That's what squirrels do. And that I don't have to find my own food, like Twitch the squirrel. The squirrel says squirrels are smarter than rabbits. He says the kids in the playground sometimes call one another dumb bunny. Ooh, that's not very nice, right? Nobody, he says, ever calls another person dumb squirrel. Oh, that's not nice. I think the squirrel is making this up. I've never heard anybody say dumb bunny. One time, though, I heard one of the 3rd graders call me Mr. Fuzzy Bottom instead of Miss Lucy Cottontail. This is one of the reasons I'd like to skip 3rd grade. But I don't tell the squirrel that. Besides, this just shows how silly that 3rd grader was. He couldn't even read the sign over my cage. I'm surprised Miss Walters ever let him out of 2nd grade. One day, after the children had spent most of the afternoon learning something that had to do with crayons and glitter sticks, I was taking an afternoon nap when I heard a dog barking. He sounded so close, as if he was in the building. But that couldn't be. Dogs don't go to regular school. They have their own school to go to, because they aren't even smart, like rabbits and children. But the next thing I knew, in ran that squirrel. If dogs aren't smart enough to go to school with the rest of us, squirrels definitely aren't smart enough. They'd be kept back for 3 years in a row and have to sit in the corner the whole time. Help! The squirrel called. Go away, I said. I'm busy. There's a dog chasing me, the squirrel said. I told him, then you shouldn't have done whatever it was you did to make him chase you. I know I'm not being nice to you, squirrel, but seriously, dogs wouldn't chase you unless you did something. Oh, I didn't do it on purpose, the squirrel said. I chewed at an itchy spot on my foot. Well, if you were as smart as you think, these things wouldn't happen, said Lucy Cottontail. The squirrel said, I told Green Eggs and Hamster that you were not going to like me and help me. I may be smart, but I would help you. I may be smart, but I also know that I'm not one to not help. While I was still busy chewing, the dog ran by my room, never looking into the doorway. The end of the long rope that was attached to his collar bumped and went flap against the walls. Across the hall, I could hear the dog barking at the hamster. There was no squirrel there with the snake. You're hiding him, the dog said to Green Eggs and Hamster. The squirrel was standing there in front of my cage, shaking, too stunned, too scared to even move. Apparently, I had to tell him everything. Run, now, I said Lucy Cottontail, while the dog is in first grade. Go back out the way you came in. Oh, but the door is closed now. The squirrel's teeth were chattering from fright. Please hide me. Oh, the goodness in me came about. I felt really sorry for this squirrel. Okay, go to the room next to where the hamster is. There's a rat there. The rat has sometimes come to visit my second grade classroom, said Lucy Cottontail. He's very good with his little hands, and he can open his own cage and doesn't need to even wait for one of the students to forget to latch it like me. This doesn't make him smarter than me, of course, said Lucy Cottontail, but he sure is good with his hands. Sweetie, the squirrel said. Cheeky thing, I beg your pardon, I snapped frostily. The rat's name is Sweetie. I knew that, I said Lucy Cottontail. I didn't think you were really talking to me. Ask Sweetie to let you in. The dog won't be able to get at you if you're in a cage. I couldn't resist adding. Besides, inside a cage is much safer than outside. Yeah, the squirrel said, waving his tail at me as he turned and ran, but also giving a quick thank you for helping me. I knew you would come along. I knew you would give in, and I knew you were kind-hearted. Okay, so here's that dog running back to Green Eggs and Hamster's room to tell Green Eggs and Hamster that the squirrel was not in the 5th grade room down the hall with the snake. He's coming back, and he's saying to that Green Eggs and Hamster, I know you're hiding Twitch, a squirrel. And thankfully, Lucy Cottontail came through. Whoop, 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 whoop. She must have heard the kindness song, and she was just trying to be a tough rabbit for a little bit. And we all do that sometimes, and that's okay. We just have to remember that sometimes, most of the time, actually all the time, it's best to be our very best self, to be the kindest self that we can, to help people in need, animals in need, friends in need, and to always just be that person that everybody else would want to be, correct? Yes. All right, well, I didn't keep you as long today because yesterday was super long. Super long for my voice, super long for you to listen, super long for my computer battery. So today, I'm going to leave you a little bit earlier than yesterday. Not so much time. So I want to wish you all a great day. I want to give you my virtual hug. And I want to do our positive affirmation again. All right? I am smart. I am kind. I am honest. I am silly. I am brave. I am loved. Yes, you are. Have a wonderful day, my friends. Thank you for this opportunity to read to you. I'm sorry I keep messing with my hair, but it has grown so much. My bangs. Look how long my bangs are. Holy smokes. Look. And they are just always going in my face. And so I have to swoosh them away because I'm not used to having bangs in my face like that. So anyway, have a great day. Till next time.